Okay, family, I'm about to show you everything you need. If anybody has to replace any fuel filters on any Ram trucks, it is so simple and you save yourself a lot of money. I'm going to show you all the tools you need. All you need is a ratchet and wrench. This is actually my torque wrench, but I'm going to use it. It's longer. The longer it is, the more strength. And you just need an extension, and this is for the front fuel filter. So a ratchet and wrench with an extension and with the socket. This is the socket right here with the swivel connect. This swivel connect allows you to move it around. You'll see it when we take the front filter off. That's for the front filter. The rear filter, all you need is a wrench or fuel filter or wrench removal, and this just goes around the fuel filter and we'll just spin it, comes off. And then this is a OEM water sensor wrench. You can order this from Amazon for like $10, but this is to get the water sensor out of the fuel filter without breaking it, and it's real simple. So now all we're gonna do, I'm gonna open the fuel filter to drain the fuel out of the rear. Then I'm gonna come to the front and do the same thing at the front, and then once I open the front, I'm gonna go back to the rear and begin screwing that off, and I'll show you. Okay, this is the rear filter. Turn the light on. And so pretty much you want to make sure you have some goggles on too when you come up under here, just so protect your eyes. But this is the water sensor here, and that just unplugs. But I'm not going to unplug it. I'm going to drain some of the fuel out of the filter like that. Goes on the ground. Got it all the way open. And while that's draining, I'm going to go to the front and do the same thing. Okay, so this is the front, top of the engine, and down in there, there's the front fuel filter. This engine is still kind of hot. It's not too hot though. So anyway, this is how you drain the front filter here. You open this. That's open. And I don't know if you can see, fuel is leaking down. So that's draining this housing here of fuel, because this housing is full of fuel. And so once it's drained, then you open it, take the top off, and pull it out, put the new one in. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and sit this wrench up here. The sun is shining, so it's kind of hard to see. But let me put this phone down, get two hands. But this is my setup here, right there. That's the setup. See the wrench, the extension, and I need two hands to turn it. Now this is really loose. You can hear it draining even more. I've taken the pressure out of there. So it's loose enough now where I can loosen it by hand. So I'll set this to the side and I can reach down there. Finish loosening this by hand. Now I got the top off. Bada boom, bada bing. And this is a metal cap. This is not the plastic one that comes with it, but the metal one, sometimes the top folded scripts a lot. You can order a metal one from Amazon. It's like $35. But put that to the side. Okay. Put that to the side. Now, on that can, there's on the can right here, there's a gasket. You always want to remove the old gasket and put a new one on. So I'll set this to the side. Now, sometimes when you're trying to remove this filter by hand, sometimes because of the pressure, it can be a little tight in there, and you can't just lift it out by hand. And you just get you a little small something to pry, put it under the lip of it, and you just lightly lift. That's it. See how that just came up just like that? You don't need to put a lot of pressure or anything, because all these components are plastic. There we go. Now I'm going to put the phone down, because when I lift that, more fuel is going to come out, and I want to get my box to be able to quickly put it in a box without fuel getting over everywhere. So that's taking the old one out. And now that I got the old one out, I like to look at it and examine it And you can look and see this fuel filter is not even that dirty, which is a very, very good thing. If you get a knockoff fuel filter sometimes, which I thought I was buying Mopar, I did a video on one fuel filter I had changed. You can see that they were not original, and on the inside it was so dirty. That means all of that's getting to your, is bypassing that rear fuel filter, and it's coming up to the front, getting all in your engine. Good quality fuel filters protect your engine and your fuel injector. So you see how clean this is? This is only, you change these every 15,000 miles. And you see how clean this is? That means the rear filter is also doing its job. So not even that much dirt is coming up to the front. And this is the new one. So all I'm going to do is move this to the side and take this new filter. Make sure I have it. Just sit it right on the inside of there. And that don't even take long. Then I put my new gasket. A new gasket comes in the box as well. I just get my new gasket on there. And just think about how much money you'll be saving doing this yourself, because now the price of these filters, they've gone up, you know. I think the last time I went and got mine, they give me mine at a discount, a commercial discount. But however, they are charging like $100 for one and $150 for the other. So that's $250 for fuel filters, plus the service to pay them to put it on for you. If you go to the dealership, that's another about $150. So you think about it, $250 for filters plus another $150. That's nearly $400 just to put on these fuel filters. And I've shown you just how simple it is. And this is the fuel front filter change. Get that. Want to get the top lined up perfectly, because you don't want to cross thread it and crack that housing. That'll be more work that needs to be done. So take your time and then close. You want to make sure you close the opening. So anyway, I'm going to put the phone down and get this top on right, and then just hand tighten it up really, really good. You don't need to torque this. You just tighten it up good. Not over tight. No more than, if you use a torque wrench, I wouldn't say no more than 8 foot-pounds or something like that. Not even that tight, really 7. But you can just feel it hand tighten. And then we're going to go to the rear. This is simple. This is what, 7 minutes? That's all. So let me pause this video and get this top on really good. So I've got that snug. Now I'm just going to take my socket apart and put my stuff back, clean up as I go, and go to the rear fuel filter. Right? See how simple that was? Okay, now back to the rear. Okay, so I'm going to unplug this sensor, and all you do is just press it in and pull out. There we go. That's the water sensor, and you want to kind of, if you got a glove, you can put a glove on this so it doesn't get fuel in it, or you can just try your best to keep it out of the way. And now what I'm going to do, if you got a textbook, you can order a textbook for just about any vehicle you have right from your local parts store. And in the textbook, it advises you to take off this fuel water separator before you take the whole filter off of the vehicle. And I'm going to show you why. But however, I normally take the whole filter off and just take the fuel water separator off when I get the filter out, and I'll show you. Okay, so this right here is the fuel water separator, the piece that I open. That detects if any water is in the diesel, right? Now this is the sensor. I'm just going to loosen it. There we go. I've loosened it. Broken it loose, taking the pressure off of it. Because now I don't like to take it off before I take the whole filter off, because more fuel seeps out. Even more, like, seeps out while I've got it on. And then when you take the whole filter off, more fuel is going to come out anyway. So what I normally do is I take the whole filter off first, and then I loosen the water separator. And then if you just break it loose like that, like how I just did, if you just break it loose like that, then that's also really good. But if you've got the tool, this tool right here that I've showed you, if you've got this fuel water separator tool, this $10 tool that you can order from Amazon, you can take it off with that on there and not have to use pliers. Now there's some people say, oh, I just use a set of hand pliers, and that's okay. But that's what I used to do years ago. And what happens is, this is like the second sensor I've bought. What happens is this whole piece right here is plastic. So as you use a plier, yes, you'll get it off, but it will be more challenging because all you've got is that you've got this big filter and you're trying to get this small piece and spinning it. And the filter is so round, so it's hard to get a grip sometimes. And you don't have the proper tool. With the proper tool, it doesn't matter if the pressure is on it. Now you've got something holding a tool, and you've got the filter wrench holding a filter, so you can apply pressure in both opposite ways, and this makes it so much easier. So you can take the sensor off on the truck or off the truck, right? Doesn't matter. But when you're using pliers, this can break. Pliers puts pressure on these plastic sides, and what that does is that crushes the sensor. And when you wear it out too much, it does, it won't, you can damage it. So I wouldn't use pliers, period. I would just take the whole thing off. So anyway, I'm putting this away. So now I wouldn't use pliers. I would just use the regular tool that's made for it, basically, is what I'm saying. So this is the filter wrench. So you get the filter wrench on there. It's hard for me to do this with one hand, trying to film. And then I need to apply more pressure, and I can't really hold the camera. So there we go. So you see it's slowly, wait a minute. Slowly turning. I've got paint on my hands. I need to put the phone down and turn this with my strong hand. My right hand is my strong hand, not my left. But that's how you loosen it. Let me get the pressure off it. See, I've got the pressure off it, and now more fuel is falling. More fuel comes out. And I normally wear gloves, but I got some paint on my hand. So I said, if fuel gets on my hand, then it'll probably help me wash the paint off. Okay, there we go. Now I can get this. And I didn't do a good job of protecting my sensor. Everything was getting so messy on me up under there, so I just rolled from up under there. And remember, I got dirt up in my I got dirt just fell on the ground, like it touched the ground, and it had some fuel on it. So what I do to clean it, you see this tiny flat head here? I just try to keep it down. I tap it, blow it out, and then I take this little tiny flat head and just clean inside there. So just keep the terminal clean, that's all. But anyway, nevertheless, I'm not going to make this video that long, because it don't even take that long, baby. It don't even take that long. And if I wasn't trying to record everything and explain everything, these filters would have already been off and on. Daniel, come here, Daniel. Come here. So I'm just gonna take this. I'm trying to do this with one hand again, but I don't want it. Come here. Don't want it to. This is how you loosen a fuel water separator. Just like that, see? It's not hard at all. And then what you do with this one is once you take it off of here, and like I said, if you order filters and stuff from online, you want to always compare them with your original OEM stuff. And I personally don't no longer order fuel filters online. It was good while it lasted. You could get 2 filters for initially several years ago you could get 2 for $60, then they were 2 for like $80. And I did that. I've been ordering them for several years. But over this last year, it's a lot of scamming going on. It's a lot of lying going on. And you see these filters are the same. Both of these actually came from the dealer, so they are exactly the same. But you still just want to compare. And what you do, this comes with the gasket already on it at top in the pack. So now I just take the sensor. You reuse your same sensor. And that's it. You just screw it in. So let me put the phone down and get this screwed in. I actually screwed this in and then I had to take it back off because I forgot to tell you guys. This one has a gasket on there as well. I think I did say that, but I never even changed it. Okay, so basically, let me show you. So this, I don't know how I can. Okay, so you see this gasket here? This gasket right here comes off. And you use the new one, right? There we go. So now this gasket comes off. And now I'm going to open a new one and put that new one on. And then this top, this bigger gasket in here, that goes right here on top, around the top. I'll show you. Let me put the new one on the other. Boom, bada bing. I got that in there, but I'm going to take it back off because I'm going to flip the filter back upside down and put the sensor back on this time. And then we'll stick it back on, and that's pretty much it. That's it, baby. That's it. So simple. Got the new gasket on. Okay, got this ready. And what we also want to make sure we do when we get it back on the truck, we want to close this sensor. Remember, we opened this for it to drain off. And so we can close it now, or we can close it when we put it back on the truck. And I'm going to go ahead and close it now. And then I'm going to put it back on the truck. Left loosen, right tight. Left loose, right tight. All right. Now when we are putting it back, all we have to do, make sure we get it aligned. Don't cross thread it. And you can feel it. Gotta put a little pressure when you're screwing it back up there. Yep, it's not cross threaded. Hand tighten it. And then you get the wrench. Go get the wrench on it. Tighten it just a little bit more. Not too tight. This wrench has a handle out there, comes down to the side, so I may have to put the phone down so I can get the handle to stay even, so I can get a grip on it. Yeah, I gotta put the phone down, but that's pretty much it. Get it back up there, tighten it up, and you want to plug the sensor back in. See where we plug the sensor back in. And I usually don't like to plug the sensor in until I tighten it. So I'm just showing you, but remember to plug the sensor in, and all it does is it snaps in. So anyway, that's how you change the front and rear fuel filter. I'm just going to put some extra spin on this to tighten up just a little bit more. Plug it back in. And that's it, my friends. You have saved yourself nearly $400 or more, depending on where you live and how much they would charge you, by just doing it yourself. DIY. And when you finish, you take a drive to Freddy's and get you some nice custard. Treat yourself.